Okay, should be live. Dot dot dot. Dot dot dot. Okay, should be live. Yeah, okay, perfect. Alright, let's go at everyone live with the worst show I make. Alright, turn that off. Move that over here. I actually don't know why it's over here. And go ahead and disable that. Turn that off. Pull that up. And there we go. Okay. Hello, everyone. I am Sacrobolic, your envoy of hope, and welcome back to the worst thing I make. SACing MAL Eternal, the show where we just go through every anime ever made, and we read it. We read every anime. This entry on Mal. We're gonna pick up where we left off with winter of 1991. Let's see what came out that year. Trap Ika Monogatari, the Trap family story, based on the story of the same name. They produced the classical musical, The Sound of Music. This is the story of Maria, who lives her life in a convent to take up responsibilities of taking care of Captain Trap's children. Sound of Music is a good... Wow, this is actually... This actually does look surprisingly like the actress who plays the main character of Sound of Music, but I will be skipping that. Might rewatch the original... Might rewatch the movie. Might rewatch the movie, but won't be The Sound of Fucking Music. What the fuck? Apparently... welcome, mate. How you doing tonight? Taiyo no Yusha Firebird. Brave of the Sun Firebird. I just want to point out where somehow... You've never seen Sound of Music? It's actually a pretty good movie. You should watch it. I can't... It's 1991, and we're still getting goddamn super robo bullshit. I don't want to hear anyone complain about the fucking isekai boom ever again. This is bonkers. An evil alien life form, Dryas, assaulted the Earth. The leader of Space Patrol Firebird, is it pursued or pursed? Pursed Dryas to Earth. Firebird combined an android that Dr. Amano was developing. Firebird named Hidori Ryutaro and fight against Dryas to protect the peace of the Earth. Okay, this is grammatically fucked up. That explains it. At first look, he was a human... At first look, he was a normal person, but because he was an alien, Firebird... his acts were a bit away from the normal person's. Usually he worked for Dr. Amano as an assistant. He looked uncouth, always wearing coat and glasses. However, once enemy appears, his personality changed dramatically. Brother had to sit with me as I rant about how much I hate Robotech and how much I want Macross Blu-ray. See, I haven't watched Robotech. But Macross is pretty good. Getter Robo Go. A new Getter Robo is piloted by 3 youths as they combat the evil terrors that plague the world. I assume we've talked about Getter Robo at some point. No, that was 2000. What was the original Getter Robo? Getter Robo G. Mal is slow as fuck tonight. That was 1975. Yeah, so we've talked all about Getter Robo at some point. Neither have I, but it's the reason we can't have Macross, so therefore I hate it. Fair enough. Okay, this is Kinkyu Hashin Saver Kids. Emergency Departure Rescue Kids. This art style is very similar to... Lupin the Third, actually. I wonder who the art director was on this. Art director was Noboru Tatsuhiko, and Osamu Nabashima was the character designer. Hold up. Mostly I want to know if he did Lupin, because it looks a lot like Lupin. He's worked as a key animator on Lupin, and as an assistant director on Lupin. And so he's worked on Lupin. I guess he just has one of those art styles. Oh, but the art director for this was the art director for Lupin. Nope. See? Told you. Told you. Anyway, what the fuck is Emergency Departure Rescue Kids about? Matsugoro is a vile doctor who plots out a plan to take over the world by commanding his own robotic army. The only chance the world has is a group of 3 brothers that make up a team called the Emergency Departure Saver Kids. This sounds like a kids show, and I will be passing. Moving on to Orewa Chokaku. Let's see. No synopsis for this. Alright, but it is based on a manga, so let's read the manga synopsis. No! Wow! The art style for the manga is hideous. If I had to think 1991 anime, I think Slow Step was 91. Well, who knows? We're done with winter for the TV series. These are all continuing, so we're going to skip past all of this. OVAs, Bubblegum Crisis. I've reviewed that. No need to talk about it again. Burn Up. Let's see. Obviously, this is one of the things that we have sitting on Dartboard for the record. I feel like I've talked about Burn Up at some point. To the unsuspecting eye, Maki, Reimi, and Yuka may not look like ace crime fighters, which might explain why they're stuck on traffic patrol instead of more exciting police duties. All that changed when Yuka gets herself kidnapped by a white slave organization run by a politically connected businessman who's got the rest of the police cowed. Now it's up to Maki and Reimi to don skin-tight battle armor, liberate a tank, and make sure that certain slaver learns that when you play with fire, you're gonna get your ass burned. I haven't seen Slow Step, but the manga is by Mitsuru Adachi. I actually don't know that name offhandedly. So I don't know how this came to my attention. Apparently it did at some point. I feel like I've talked about it on an episode of SACing MAL at some point. But the big thing about this is that for some reason in the 80s and 90s, there was a whole genre of like sexy lady cops. Like that was just like a thing that went on for a while. Anyway, Shoujo Senshi Psychic Wars I reviewed on the channel, so no need to talk about it. Cibichara Go Nagai World. Oh, I've heard of Touch. I've heard of Touch at least. CB character. Nagai Go World. Various characters from Go Nagai works, including Devilman, Mazinger, and Violence Jack, become trapped in a parody world where they all become super deformed. They get trapped in this mishmash, fighting each other and trying to figure a way back to their own world. So it's like a whole... You've seen this. Okay. What'd you think of it? It's like a whole Go Nagai crossover thing. What'd you get? You forgot to add it to your list. Wizardry. Based on the game. Based on the first Wizardry game, The Proving Grounds of the Mad Overlord, a group of characters enter a dungeon to confront the ultimate wizard to prevent him from reaching an unstoppable power. On their way, they meet up with a few new friends who have their own battles to settle, but their paths lie together. So, this is one of those things where I know of the game Wizardry, and it's like, rather than watching a fucking 50-minute anime about Wizardry, I feel like I should just play Wizardry. But on the other hand, I'm not going to play Wizardry, like, ever. Like, it's not going to happen. So maybe I should just watch the anime instead. You know, it's one of those things where I'm just like, I don't know. I do think the idea of a group of characters entering a dungeon to fight a fucking wizard sounds like it could make a cool movie. So you know what? Fuck it. We're on board. Wizardry. I'll watch it at some point in 100 years. Yoredon Samurai Troopers Message or Massage? We'll find out. Ronin Warriors Massage. A 300-year-old book is discovered which chronicles the adventures of the legendary samurai troopers, centuries before they happen. But what does this mean? Are the troopers merely puppets in some cosmic play, acting out parts? Who is this mysterious Suzunagi, a mysterious girl who entices each of the warriors with their heart's desire? Salvation, new armor, freedom from fighting. Why is she so interested in the troopers and their armors? I like that one of the samurai troopers' desires is, I want new armor. I don't like this armor. This one looks vaguely familiar. This is Morio Senki Madara, also just called Madara. Born of legendary origins, the young Madara has grown up in obscurity as an apprentice blacksmith. An encounter with the demonic Maoki reveals his destiny and catapults him into the middle of a mystic quest. Madara fights for revenge with the help of freedom fighters, magical swords, and Kirin of the master of Majin. His goal is to defeat his brother and overthrow his father, the despotic Miroku. So, what I think I find perhaps most interesting about this, one, I've heard about this, and I'm not sure why I've heard about this, but for some reason I have heard about this. I think I've looked at watching it before and then was like, this sounds bad. There's like a lot of like names and concepts here that I've seen in other like mostly Shonen Jump works. I'm not saying anyone's ripping anything off. I'm just saying I find it interesting, like the number of sort of themes I'm seeing here. What'd you give this one? You gave it a 5. Yeah, honestly, it doesn't look very good is the thing. I know about this for some reason. It just doesn't, I don't know. It doesn't grab me. It doesn't seem like the kind of 80s garbage I should be watching. Although I guess we're in 90s garbage now. Maju Senshi Luna Varga, which I think I've also heard of for the record. The Doombasen Empire tries to conquer the peaceful land of Rimbel. The 3 princesses are determined to risk the invaders, especially the middle one, the tomboyish sword-wielding Luna. After a magical escapade in the cellars of the castle, she finds herself embedded up to the hips in the head of a huge green reptile, the legendary Varga. And acting as its brain, even in human form, she has a reptilian tail. She has to fend off very persistent giant invader and rescue her sister, who's been kidnapped by a pterodactyl. For some reason, I've heard of this before. And the plot of this seems like a mixture between Queen's Blade and Dorohedoro. Anyway, it sounds like it just sounds unwatchable. It sounds unwatchable. Shakutan, Star Boogie, It's Girls, Gangs and Cars, in this adaptation of the 1985 manga in Young Magazine by Lullaby for Wednesday Cinderella creator Machiharu Kusunoki. Local punks steal cars, switch the plates, and sell them, but not without racing them for a while against rival gangs. The anime continues the story where the 1987 live-action movie starring Kazuya Kimura left off. That sounds like that is perfect for someone. This is an anime that someone enjoys. For sure. Ariel Deluxe. Let's see. These incompetent aliens are plotting to conquer the Earth. The only obstacle in their path is the giant feminine robot Ariel. I was going to say it's 1991 and we're still fucking dealing with super robos, but honestly, we haven't changed gears. But the young pilots have lives of their own. When Kazumi receives a mysterious love letter from a secret admirer, she tries to cancel her first date just to save the Earth? What? I want to say Simone Torfan? Honestly, I'm really digging this design. Straight up. Honestly, it's a pretty strong character design. Who is this? Demonova. That's not bad. Honestly, the character designs in this are pretty good. This is adapted on something called Ariel. This is got a prequel called Ariel Visual, which I already added. Okay, so this has already drawn my attention. This is just a sequel to a thing I was already planning to watch. Perfect. Moving on then. You love to see it. Dragon Fist. I'm pretty sure I've heard of it. Well, I think now that we're in the 90s, get ready to hear me be like, oh yeah, I've heard of this. The story follows Ling Fei Long, a Chinese transfer student living in Japan. Ling is the son of the leader of the White Dragon Clan, one of the 4 clans who live in the mountains of China and are descended from mythical beasts. After killing an ordinary human, Ling is banished to Japan so that he might learn about humanity and how to control his powers around them. Alright, moving on. This is Makyu Senjo, which looks familiar. Dark Warrior. This sounds just crappy enough that I may have heard of this before. When computer genius Joe Takami hacks into a top-secret computer system in search of information on a mysterious girl, this sounds like this could be the plot of an SMT game, he gets much more than he bargained for. Now, after uncovering evidence of a secret government experiment, he's running for his life, and everyone, including his best friend and his personal computer, has turned against him. As a ruthless team of high-tech ninja follow his trail, Joe must depend upon the unpredictable powers that lie within him in order to survive. Can he find a way to evade the government assassins before they terminate the human genetic experiment named Joe Takami? This sounds just terrible enough to be watchable. I'm on board for you, Makyu Senjo. Alright, we got Bebop Kaizokuban. This is based on a parody manga of Bebop High School. Which I think had an anime adaptation, didn't it? Yeah, it did in 1990. So we've already passed Bebop High School. So moving on. This is Phantom Yusha Densetsu, which I think I've heard of. We're going to get to a point where I need to stop saying that. Yazawa, a Japanese pilot, suffers a crash in his Phantom jet fighter. After a 6-month recovery, his old friend from an airplane magazine wants him to investigate the appearance of a phantom in an armed conflict in El Salvador. Yazawa's investigations make him wind up in an international arms conspiracy based on a series of military fiction novels. Interesting. But it's only 50 minutes, so it's probably too long. Okay, Samurai Rider Nazu Tenkosei. And a combination of samurai movies and bomber bikers of shonen. Continue. Tokyo street punk Masayo buys a treasured FZR katana motorcycle and becomes... I remember when katanas were cool. The motorcycle, not the sword. And becomes a knight of the road, attacking criminals with a genuine katana sword. I feel like katana sword is a bit repetitive, but okay. Based on the... redundant, that was the word I wanted. Based on the manga by Shinichi Sugimura, published in Young Magazine. So we've got biker gang samurai boys. Now I kind of just wish it was called Biker Gang Samurai Boys. This dude looks like fucking Splinter. Not Splinter. Shredder. Alright, we got Buso Sengoku... Sengo Kushi. Baoso? No, it'd be Boso Sengo Kushi. At a certain point, I just don't care. Modern-day bikers make and break alliances with neighboring gangs, fight over the right to use the local petrol station. Ew, this was written by a non-American. And are eventually united under a powerful leader. It's a replay of the events of Japan's 16th century civil war, but with bikes instead of horses and knives instead of swords. Based on a manga by Jiro Ueno in Weekly Playboy. 16th century civil war. So this is warring states. Fucking Brits. This is warring states on motorcycles. Well, then why would I watch that? My favorite character is just gonna kill himself. Kumo ni Noru. In a Buddhist heaven where saints fight over turf in the clouds, Neomaru searches for the younger sister torn from him in an aircraft accident back in the human world. Moving on immediately. Judo Boo, based on the same name manga by Kobayashi Makoto. I'm gonna assume it's about a young man in a judo club. It's a sport. Yeah, I'm assuming it's a young man in a judo club. I'm gonna go with he was an outcast. He was a young outcast boy, and then an older cool senpai came in and is like, "Judo Boo, you've got to join the judo club." And he's like, "I don't want to." And then, but he was like a young punk or something. And then older senpai is like, "Judo Boo, tell you what, if you're such a good street fighter, if you beat me in a fight, I'll let you go. I'll become your slave. But if I beat you in a fight, you've got to join the judo club. And Judo Boo's like, you can't beat me. I'm a fucking legendary gangster. And then he gets his shit rocked and has to join the judo club. And then he makes friends with the guys in the judo club, and they're like a found family. And he starts to look up to Judo Senpai as like a fucking older brother figure. And when he becomes more respectable, he starts to, like, gain the attention of this girl he had a crush on back when he was a delinquent. But, like, she never showed him the time of a day because he was a thug. But now that he's, like, a respectable young man, she's starting to kind of get into him as he's entering in the judo tournament. And so, like, Judo Senpai is always, like, one step ahead. And then the fucking evil rival judo club from, like, the next school over, it fucking gets into a judo match with Judo Senpai. And then Judo Senpai is just, like, his back is broken and he can't judo anymore. And everyone's like, oh, you can't fucking beat Judo Rival. Judo Rival's invincible. And Judo Boo's like, I've got to avenge Judo Senpai. And everyone's like, no, don't do it. And like his crush is like, no, Judo Boo, don't do it. And he's like, I'm gonna do it. And then he goes on a training arc, and then he fucking beats Judo Rival. And that is what happens in a Judo Boo Monogatari. Alright, so now that I've made some bullshit up, this is Shonen Ashibe. After moving to a new town, a young boy comes across a lone baby seal. They become fast friends and enjoy everyday life together. Sounds cute. Moving on. Movies! Dragon Ball Z movie number 4, Super Saiyajin Da Son Goku. That is an unfortunate name for this movie in Japanese, because Goku most certainly does not become a Super Saiyan in this movie. Anyway, this is the Lord Slug movie. Gohan, Son, and Piccolo are peacefully playing when they sense a powerful entity approaching Earth. It soon reaches everyone's ears that this entity is in fact a small planet on a deadly collision course with Earth. Son Goku and Kuririn attempt to change the small planet's path with a Kamehameha, but the attack fails and the two warriors are blown away. After coming very close to the Earth's surface, the object changes direction on its own and explodes soon after. The small planet reveals itself to be a vehicle for what seems to be a castle. A large army emerges out of the structure and declares that the planet is now in possession of Slug, king of the universe. While defending the city against the invaders' attack, Gohan loses his Dragon Ball, allowing Slug to take it. After reading Bulma's mind and stealing her Dragon Radar, Slug commands his army to collect the wish-granting relics. With the Dragon Balls in his possession, he uses them to wish his youth back. Now young and wise and very powerful, Slug commences world domination. Lord Slug movie. Alright, now I got Keto Senshi Gundam F91. And this is a Universal Century movie, which means this shit is main timeline. Which means at some point I'll watch this. In the year 123, fuck. Holy shit. Okay, I almost feel like I shouldn't read this because this feels like this is going to be a spoiler. How fucking far is that in the future? That is one... Because Mobile Suit Gundam ends in 80. Right? So that's 40, that's like 43 years after the end of Mobile Suit Gundam. In the year of 123 of the Universal Century, skirmishes between the Federation government and the rebel group Crossbones Vanguard Echo across Earth's space colonies. Good to see the fucking Federation is still around. Would have hoped in 43 years someone managed to kick their asses. One of these small battle breaks in the hometown of young Seabrook Arno, forcing him and his friends to flee and ensnaring them in the political turmoil that is quickly evolving into an all-out war. Seabrook meets Cicely Fairchild, granddaughter of the aristocrat Mater Rona, who seeks to create a new political power called Cosmo Babylonia, using the Crossbone Vanguard as its muscle. The Rona family schemes to restore the aristocratic rule and establish an economic system that will benefit the nobility, thus devastating the quality of life for the common people of the Earth sphere. Seabrook is tasked with piloting the Gundam F-91, a mobile suit created by his mother, and must choose between protecting the status of Federation status quo or cooperating with Sicily to find a better way of life for all. Honestly, I'm all for overthrowing the Federation, alright? Sig Zeon and all that, but, like, realistically, I don't think this dude's idea of creating a fucking aristocratic paradise is a better, like the Federation sucks, but, like, is an aristocracy really better than, like, a fucking fascist regime? I don't know. They both kind of just suck, honestly. Ushiro no Shomindare. Who's Left Behind? I think I've heard of this. Holy shit, Masako Nozawa voiced someone in this. Kyoko is a young girl in 1940. Oh, okay, so we're still doing bomb things, huh? She's a bit of a crybaby, which no secret to those around her. She loves playing with friends and singing cute schoolyard chants, and occasionally having fun with her 3 older brothers. Her mother's pregnant, and so she looks forward to being a big sister, only partially understanding the responsibility that may bring. Meanwhile, the war effort is growing, and it's only the natural thing to do is be patriotic and support the country. Kyoko goes so far as to contribute her favorite dolly, whose materials could help build explosives. Oh, that's just sad. Time passes as she grows older. Kayako sees how the war has affected her life and those around her. Nothing can prepare her for 1945. Yup. There we go. And bleak times that are soon to come, based on the original creator, Kayako Ibana's real-life experience during World War II on Showa era. I've heard of this. It's like World War II anime. Yeah, I've heard of it too. Yeah, there was a huge World War II anime explosion that came out in the 1940s, and then another one that started leaking out from the 80s. Presumably as people who were children in the 40s started reaching their their 30s and 40s and started making anime about it. Mushin Knight Commando SD Gundam Scramble. Mushin Knight Commando SD Gundam Emergency Sortie. The first episode, Mushin Knight Commando SD Gundam Emergency Sortie, features the 3 Gundams and a young girl named Riplin joining together to fight evil. The second, Dawn of Palpal. Episode 103, Suginamu's Bride, stars Hortensia's in fantasy-themed adventure. That just turned into nonsense. Coming to the 2000s, and America's got a massive World War II boner. Yeah, it comes and goes. It just, honestly, the World War II stuff gets a little exhausting when you're reading every anime ever made, just like the fucking Super Robo stuff does. Let's see, Magical Toruruto-kun movie. First movie of Magical Toruruto-kun. I feel like we've talked about this at some point. Yeah. No, because this came out in fall of 1990. Alright. Well, what the fuck is this about then? Fifth grader Idojo Honomuru is one of the most trodden upon losers in his class until he meets magical Taruruto-kun. Taruruto's powers help him deal with his hardships, such as girls, bullies, and numerous other challenges. It's like a magical girl anime, basically. Doremi-chan, wow, the kid gang of bandits. Nope. Okay, moving on. There isn't even like a source. It's just a source unknown. Just, here you go. Directed by Keiichi Hara. Yo! This is the fucking homophobic dude who directed the early Shin-Chan movies, right? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, this is the homophobic Shin-Chan director. Yi Jong Pink. Very pink. City Hunter 91. Not. Oh shit. Christian's Grandma or Pink Triangle? He made, for like, except for one, the first, like, 6 or so Shin-Chan movies. No, it was like the first 9. Like, the first 9 Shin-Chan movies. He directed, I think, like, all of them. And all except for one had, like, a gay man as the main villain. It got slightly like, it's weird. It's like, at first it was just like, gay guys are like the main villain in all the Shin-Chan movies, and then instead of becoming the primary antagonist, they were downgraded to the secondary antagonists, and then like towards the end and the later ends of this guy's run, not in all of the movies, but we're talking about the early like first 9 movies where this guy was actually working on them, it eventually became like where like there was always a gay guy, and he's always the butt of the jokes, and the joke is always, oh, he's gay, so you can't be near him because he might do gay things to you. But eventually it like got to the point where it's like, okay, one of the like the gay character became one of like the sidekick characters that helped the Noharas fend off the real villain. So it got progressively less homophobic as time went on. But even in the movies where the later movies, because in the early movies, obviously the gay guy had to be the bad guy. But in the later movies, the gay character still functioned as like the butt of the joke, and the joke is just, well, he's gay, right? So like that level of homophobic. Not quite like, oh, we have to kill all the gay people. Like, it doesn't go that far, but it is definitely in poor taste, which is why in the Shin-Chan movie review, where I review all of Shin-Chan, for like the first 15 movies, I have a fucking homophobia rating. Where I'm like, okay, so how homophobic was this Shin-Chan movie? Alright, City Hunter, 1991. Ryo Saiba is back as City Hunter, a sweeper private detective working the streets of Tokyo. He has a sidekick. Kaori and Mikamura are hired to solve the problems of desperate people. When Ryo is not using his sharpshooting skills against bad guys, he's aiming his sights on pretty ladies. Kaori uses giant anti-etchy hammer to make sure he behaves. Oh yeah, this is the thing that created Hammer Space, right? This is the middle level of City Hunter. Eventually I'll go on a City Hunter click, and I'll watch a shit ton of City Hunter, but for now we're moving on. Future GPX Cyber Formula. 14-year-old Kazumi Hayato is the youngest driver of Cyber Formula. I feel like a 14-year-old should not be allowed. I still need to see City Hunter. Yeah. I feel like a 14-year-old should not be allowed behind these fucking cars. I have to say, I actually kind of love the character designs, though. Hold up. Let's just pull up these 3 characters. Let's pull up these 5 characters real quick. This is the main character. This is Asuka Sugo. Come on. Come on. Look at that. That's a fucking cute design. Miki Jonoichi. Look at that. Look at that cute little tomboy. Fucking hot office lady. This is Carl Lichter von Randall. Look, I'm gonna say this. Whoever did the fucking character designs is fucking awesome. I'm gonna assume it's Mitsuo Fukuda. What else have you done? Directed Gundam Seed. Directed Gundam Seed, directed this, directed Gundam Seed, they're fucking, okay. Alright, well, who's the character designer then? Because I don't think this guy was behind the character designs. The character designer of this show, oh, here we go, is Matsumi Inomata. Here we go. So she's fucking awesome. What did she do? She did the character design for Tales of Zestiria. All right. Okay. All right. All right. So we've got someone with talent. Did the character design for Tales of Eternia. Okay. All right. Okay. Did the character design for something called Kaze no the Weathering Continent. These are some sick fucking character designs, actually. Holy shit. Holy shit. These characters look cool. I mean, honestly, that... It might just be because that kind of looks like Casca, but... Character design for Del Power. Character design... Original character design for Utsumi Neko. Did Utsumi Neko. Did the art for a few light novels. She did the Tales of Grace's art. Hold up. Anime fan Inuminata began her career as the animator at Toei Animation soon after graduating her senior year in high school in 1978. She began working for Aishi Productions, working as an animator, key animation director, and character designer on several TV anime series. Inuminata is noted for her work as an animator, character designer, and animation director on several anime titles, including Windaria, Polaris, Sunshiro, Future GPX, Cyber Formula, and Brain Powered. Inuminata is a prolific novel illustrator known for her vivid watercolor paintings, which often cater around young women with wide, jewel-like eyes. Many of her illustrations are collected in art books, which include Voices of Stars, Dreams of the Moon, Excelente, SAI, and numerous others. Her representative works as novel illustrator for the Utsumi Neko series written by Keisuke Fujikawa and Weathering Continent series by author Sei Takegawa. She is also noted for being the main character designer on a number of titles in the Namco's Tales of video game series. When I saw she did like 3, I'm like, did she do all of them? Is this like the character design? She also did My Hime designs. Yeah, so that explains why the fucking character designs are so goddamn on point for this fucking race car anime. Anyway, 14-year-old Kazami Hayato is the youngest driver of Cyber Formula, a Grand Prix in which the vehicle is equipped with computers to aid in racing. With the help of Sarada, the most advanced cyber navigation system, and Team Sugo, Hayato races to become the winner of the 10th Cyber Formula Grand Prix. Along the way, Hayato will have to learn what it truly means to be a racer, and that victory cannot be achieved simply by driving the best machine. In addition, Kazumi will have to gain the respect of the veteran racers and thwart those who attempt to steal Asurada and participate in races outside of Cyber Formula. That doesn't sound like a bad show, is the thing. Hold on, there's a summary? There's a summary. This is a short video diary of the original series. It's 30 minutes. I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna see if I can track this down, and I'll watch this. And then I don't want to, like, commit to watching a fucking 37 episode anime about fucking race cars going voom. Alright? Well, maybe we'll watch the fucking summary and see if I then want to make the time investment. This is Zetai Mutaki Raijino. This is Matchless Raijino. Suddenly, an evil empire, Jakku, raids the Earth, but the light appears from the Earth and fights against Jakku. It is Raijin. Operated by Eldron. Eldron has protected the Earth since the ancient ages, but he was injured during the fight, and Raijino falls to the ground. On the other hand, Jakku scatters their weapons, Aku Dharma, all over the world. Meanwhile, in Yasho Elementary School, they have extra lessons in 3rd class of the 5th grade. Eldron leaves Raijin medal to them and asks them to save the Earth for him. Then he disappeared. In this way, the Earth Defense Agency, consisted of elementary students, is founded. Hey. Eldrin, maybe give your fucking Raijin medal to goddamn adult engineers if you want to save the world so goddamn bad. This looks like fucking Voltron. But it's not Voltron, because it would say if it was Voltron. But this looks like fucking Voltron. Alright, we have Chisana Obake Achi Kochi Sochi. This is Three Little Ghosts. This is a heartwarming story with three little ghosts called They Are Here and Where. They are not scary like usual ghosts, but pretty and mischievous like human children. And often, of course, they sometimes surprise people by disappearing or flying, but they are loved as children's friends. This is High School Mystery Gakuen Nana Fushigi. I feel like I've heard of this. Mizuki Ichijo is a junior student at Kosen High School. Her grandmother was a medium, and she experiences various psychic and mysterious phenomena which occur at the school: accident, suicide, bullying, resentment, romance, and more. She is befriended by the third-year student Maiko Tsukikage, and together they attempt to solve the mysteries. I swear I've heard of this anime. And I don't know why I've heard of this anime, but I have heard of this anime. I've heard of this. I don't know why. Do I know someone who's seen this? Why do I know what this is? Why are there so many 1 out of 10s? You usually only see this if it gets, like, fucking dogged on. You brought it up once, but it's not subbed. Oh. Okay. I was thinking, like, Kenny Lauderdale might have made a video on it or something. The thing is, do I want to watch this? The thing is, it's 41 episodes, so I think more than anything, the 41 episodes are like, I kind of don't want to watch 41 episodes of a school mystery show. This is Kiko Kaisatsu Metal Jack. This looks like complete dog. I fit on it because half the Sailor Moon cast is in this. 20 years later into the future, a city now called Tokyo, has developed into one of the few world-class high-tech centers. Tokyo City. Woo! The main character's Ken Kanzaki is a young investigator assigned to the criminal investigation section of the Metropolitan Police. He is one of the finest sharpshooters in the police. One day, Ken is ordered to provide security for a party held by SACing Kozern, a world-class plutocracy. That almost made sense. All of a sudden, Spectre robots appear and disrupt the party. SACing, a commander-in-chief, is killed in both Ken and June. SACing's sons, I think they meant comma and not period. SACing's sons are fatally injured by the robots. Two of the party's guests, an auto racer, Ryu Aiguri, and a wrestlers misspelled, Go Goda, also receive serious injuries. 3 severely injured young men are operated upon by scientists from the Metropolitan Police. I'm just going to reread that sentence because I thought it was so fucking stupid. 3 severely injured young men are operated upon by scientists from the Metropolitan Police. Several days later, a robot corps led by a mysterious organization called Ido appears in the floating town of the Tokyo Bay, but the police and the army have no effective strategies to contain them. At that moment, 3 young men, attired in mechanical suits, enter. They're the 3 very young men. Ken, Ryo, and Go, who have been turned into cyborg investigators through the operation. Is this just a fucking fancy Japanese version of RoboCop? They call themselves Armored Police Metal Jacks. Metal Jacks dazzlingly switch from jack suits to jack armors, completely demolish the RoboCorps, and achieve victory. Thus signals the beginning of the battle between the high-tech criminals and Metal Jacks, with a futuristic Tokyo City in the background. This sounds truly terrible. Truly terrible. All right, 21 Amon. In 2018, in the far future of 2018, a young boy named 21 Amon dreams of becoming a space pilot. and exploring space in general. He is the heir to a long line of hotel owners, which dates back to the founding of the Tokugawa shogunate. Since the Earth has become a planet visited by tourists from all over space, 21 Amon has to help out his family business or they'll go bankrupt. It's Jenkinman. There's a small village called Jenkintown. The hero Jenkinman protects the village and defeats its adversaries by playing games of rock, paper, scissors with them. Meanwhile, the villain Osodashi Mask always tries to deceive others. We have Shonen Ashibe TV, which I'm going to guess is the TV version of Shonen Ashibe. The anime is based on the 4-panel comic strip drawn by Morishita Hiromi and published in Young Jump. The story describes the daily life of Shibe, an elementary school boy and his families and friends, including a pet white sea lion. This is Doro Rampa. Komichi is a little ghost who died during the Meiji era and has hung around Earth as a wandering spirit girl for over 100 years. Komichi appears in the room of a young girl named Anko, and the two get wrapped up in all sorts of adventures involving ghosts and demons. This is Oh, My Kanbu. 5th grader Nabayame Kanbu is the son of a cook in a slice-of-life gourmet comedy that tries to add an element of adventure to slaving in the kitchen. Kanbu helps his father solve problems in a world through the judicious use of seasonings, the right choice of menu, and the pleasing of fickle customers. God, I'm fucking hungry. OVA, Ginga, EU Densetsu, Legend of the Galactic Heroes. One day I'll watch this. The 150-year-long stalemate between two interstellar superpowers, the Galactic Empire and the Free Planets Alliance, comes to an end when a new generation of leaders arise. The idealistic military genius Reinhard von Lohengrin and the FPA's reserved historian Yang Wen-li. While Reinhard climbs the ranks of the Empire with the aid of his childhood friend Siegfried Kirches, he must fight not only the war but also the remnants of the crumbling Golden Bomb dynasty in order to free his sister from the Kaiser and unify humanity under one genuine ruler. Meanwhile, on the other side of the galaxy, Yang, a strong supporter of democratic ideals, has to stand firm in his belief despite the struggles of the FPA and show his pupil Julian Mintz that autocracy is not the solution. As ideologies clash amidst the war's many casualties, the two strategic masterminds must ask themselves what the real reason behind their battle is. Legend of the Galactic Heroes was adapted from a series of 10 novels published in 1982 through 1987 by Yoshiki Tanaka. The novels won the Seiyun Award for the Best Long-Form Japanese Science Fiction in 1988. At the start of its production, the anime was distributed through a subscription system, which episodes were mailed to existing fans of the novels. It was made in 4 separate tranches over nearly a decade, with the production of side stories continuing for several years further. The main series has the largest voice cast of any anime with well over 300 voice actors. It is the longest OVA series ever made. The novels have also been adapted into a manga, a stage musical by Takarazuku Review, and a number of games. I know someone who said he started Galactic Heroes but dropped it. He said he just lost interest. I have actually heard that despite its reputation as being the greatest anime of all time, that like the first 20-30 episodes can be a bit rough to get through. That's everyone I know who's actually seen it has been like, yeah, the first 20 or 30 episodes can be a bit of a slog. Kaido Senshi Gundam 83 Stardust Memory. It is the 83rd year of the Universal Century. The rebellious Principality of Zeon has been defeated in the One-Year War by the Earth Federation. However, a faction of Zeon remnants led by Agil Dallas fled from the final battle, hiding themselves away after 3 long years. They attempt to rise up once more, sending Dallas' ace pilot Ansel Gato to infiltrate a Federation research base to steal one of 2 secretly developed prototype Gundams, along with its deadly nuclear warhead. Threatened by the rogue Gundam suit and seeking to retain peace, the Earth Federation mobilizes the newly developed Albion carrier to recover the stolen unit. Manned by the remaining test pilots, with rookie pilot Ko Araki piloting the remaining prototype Gundam, the Albion and her crew are determined to stop Gato, retake the stolen Gundam, and prevent the Zeon remnants from starting another war. Also, just want to point this out, we have a woman screaming directly in the poster. Ah! That's kind of cool. It's like a little updated version of the original Gundam. Bubblegum Crash. This is the sequel to Bubblegum Crisis, and one day I'll watch this. I made a video on Bubblegum Crisis. The saga of the Nightsabers continues as the group tries to find out who or what was behind the recent string of robberies, murders, and boomer malfunctions, which are somehow related to the creation of an advanced artificial intelligence. Furthermore, it seems that the Nightsabers may be breaking up. What? Rig Veda. This is a Mama Sack anime. She's a big fan of Rig Veda. The fearsome warrior Taishaku Ten rebelled against the world-ruling gods 300 years ago and began his own oppressive reign. His dominion remained unchecked for years until one day the blind prophet Kuyu prophesied that warriors known as the Six Stars and a child of the vanished race called the Ashura would defeat Taikushu 10. Ashura, marked by his pointed ears and golden eyes. Yasha'o, a robust warrior, and 4 other stars prepare to challenge Taishaku 10. In order to do so, they must journey across tarnished landscapes and battle mysterious demons that have plagued the land. But as the wheels of fate turn, Ashura and Yasha'o must find the 6th star before it's too late. Yeah, that sounds like a whole lot of nothing. Hono no Tenkosei. I heard Rig Veda was prime example of bullshit 90s OVA. All I know is Mama Sack's a big fan of it. Transfer student Takisawa Noburo quickly learns that all disputes at his school are settled in the boxing ring. Now he finds himself in a series of showdowns with the local top dog, Ibuki Saburo, for the love and respect of the beautiful Yukari. Isn't this plot the same generic bullshit I said that fucking Judobu was about? Sukeban Daka, already reviewed. Maisani Kaku, Bengai Hen, Ikokujima, Nanpa, Shimatsuki. Mom also likes Loveless. I know! That's why I didn't add Rig Veda. I don't trust her opinions. Yotsuya and Ichi Nose are enjoying a hot afternoon when they recall the time that the tenants of Ikoku-kan and Mitaka, go off on a cruise to party hard aboard Mitaka's new boat. However, the boat falls apart and everyone is shipwrecked on a deserted island with everyone up to their usual antics and shenanigans. What else can happen in such a desolate place? This is Abashiri Ika. This is a chapter from the manga that didn't get adapted into the anime. Oh, okay. For decades, the Abashiri family has been one of the most powerful and feared crime families in the world. Led by the frightening Daemon Abashiri, the family prepares to perform their final greatest heist. As the family makes their assault on a large bank, Daemon reveals that his youngest child, Kiko no Sukie Abashiri, is actually the first daughter born to the family in 18 generations, which is why he wanted to end their life of crime. Much to Kikunosuke's displeasure, her father has arranged for her to study at an elite paradise academy, hoping that the school will shape her into a proper lady. However, when she arrives, she finds the place even more brutal than the life of crime she just left. How does Kikunosuke intend to survive in a school full of teachers who are hell-bent on killing their students? This sounds fun. Hell yeah. In 18 minutes an episode, this is a Go Nagai series. Oh, that explains why I thought I'd heard of this. I'm like, I feel like I know what this is. I feel like I've heard of this once before. Yeah, this is Go Nagai. All right. Hell yeah. Add this shit to the list. Yami no Shihosha Judge. Okay. Fucking killing joke, little motherfucking ass. Hochiro Oma works in an office. Everybody knows him as a silent, humble man. Even his girlfriend Nanase doesn't suspect that he could be something more, but he is. When a person dies as a victim of murder, when someone kills himself with a curse on his lips, when someone's death needs to be judged, he is there, for he is a judge of darkness, following the laws of darkness, made with a book of human skin and an unusual parrot. He pronounces judgment over living criminals that would otherwise go free. Honestly, here's the thing. If, like, this was what I had to watch, I would never even consider watching this. But, like, when you scroll down here, you get to see that this isn't at all what the show actually looks like. This is Defense Lawyer of Darkness. the Human Skin Book Necronomicon for people. Honestly, like, the poster I'm not a fan of, but, like, I don't know, this could come together. Like, it just the description, like, I think the description on ANN is trying to make it look cool, but I think it might be secretly really fucking lame, and I'm kind of into it if it's really fucking lame. Slow Step. You were correct. Slow Step was 1991. You nailed it. Based on the Adachi manga of the same name, the story revolves around the romantic triangle formed by the girl Minatsu Nakazato, a young girl student and softball player, Shio Akiba, a school mate, and Nato Kodomatsu, an up-and-coming boxer. In reality, the three-way relationship is more like a 3.5, considering that Naoto is in love with Maria, actually, Minatsu herself, who'd once disguised herself to escape some evildoers. This is Judge. I've heard of Judge. Is it as fucking terrible and dumb as it looks? It was dubbed by Central Park, who are notorious for doing terrible dubs. I'll make sure to watch the dub version then. Capricorn. This looks like a fucking slime character. In a blink of an eye, high school student Taku Shimamura finds herself transported to a bizarre world of Slaflees, where intelligent creatures govern and the ruling class led by the villainous Zolba is plotting an invasion of the world they know as Capricorn, the Earth. Joining together from the oppressed Slaflees peasants, Taku must find a way to stop Zolba's dark forces before the way to the unsuspecting Earth is opened. In order to do so, he must first gain the love and trust of the last of the Yapi, the ancestral guardians of Slaflees. This is a task that will take him a little more courage and daring, for the last Yapi is not just a cute young female, she's also a dragon. I feel like I've heard of this, which I say to every single anime we come across. Also, shout out to being, I think, the first anime we've came across in Eternal with the Isekai tag. I think this might be the first time we've hit this tag. Something about this is appealing to me. I don't know what it is, but something about this I find so appealing. So let's give this a watch. All right, Soryuden, Legend of the Dragon Kings. I feel like I've heard of this. The four Ryudo brothers hold an ancient secret. They're descended from dragons. They have speed, strength, and power of their legendary ancestors, and they're getting stronger, but when pushed to the limit, they're becoming terrifying, uncontrollable dragons of mythology. These powers have attracted the attention of some powerful enemies, shadowy organizations with unlimited resources, and weapons who will stop at nothing to control the brothers. This is Akai Hayate. Japan is secretly controlled by a tyrannical group of ninjas called... Wow, I would just stop. I would just stop. Called the Shinogara. Their finest assassin is a man named Hayate Kanuma, whose father leads the Shinogara. Hayate, however, knows that the secret society control over Japan is wrong, sacrificing his own safety Hayate kills his father. Now he's on the run, safe almost nowhere from his vengeful reformer comrades, except for perhaps for one hiding place he decides upon, his sister. He's gonna hide in his sister? However, possibly being fatally wounded, Hayate is able to transfer his soul into his sister's body. Okay, the answer to my question was yes. He is, in fact, hiding in his sister, temporarily sharing it with her. His sister, Shiori, can awaken Hayate and call upon his ninja abilities when the Shinogara are close at hand, but each time she does so, a little more of her true self is lost. This arrangement can't possibly go on forever. How will Hayate finally defeat the Shinogara? This sounds terrible enough to be good. Or terrible enough to be terrible. And I'm willing to flip that coin. I read a book kind of like that, but not really. I read a book kind of like that about a ghost girl who's possessing a girl's body, and then she gets possessed by a ghost. Iguchi Hisashi no Kotobuki Garo Show, based on the gag manga by Hisashi Iguchi, originally released as a feature part of Studio Pierrot's video magazine Anime V comic Rentamon. Ani Navi and Anime V. It just hit. Okay, you know what? This just says Anime V comic Rentamon. just says Anime V comic Rentamon. Okay, well, along with Abashiri Ika, Yumeme Makura, Baku, Twilight, Gekijo, and Akai Hayate. This is Yume Makura, Baku, Twilight, Gekijo. I feel like I've heard of this. Originally released as a feature part of Studio Pierrot's video magazine, Anime V comic, Rentamon, along with Abashiri Ika, Iguchi Hayashi no Kotobuki, Garu Sho, and Akai Hayate. It was about a guy who's decapitated in a car crash. To save him, they stitch his head onto his sister's body, making them conjoined twins. Wow, yours is so much more fucked up than mine. He then learns he's gaining control of her body, so he plans to cut her head off, taking her body for herself. I mean, I'm a really big fan of, the image here, but honestly, I have no idea what this is about. The horror novel. This is the Gaku Chojin Tai. Or the Choju Tai, anime based on the 1986 novel. I've heard of this for some reason. I don't know why, but for some reason I've heard of this. I warned you. I warned you that this was going to happen. Once we hit the 90s, you're going to have to start hearing about how I've heard of all of this bullshit. You know where this anime was reviewed by Kenny Lauderdale. And I believe he described it as almost unwatchable. Like, he was like, oh, it's so bad. I've seen this porn, Zach. That's not porn. It's not, it's not porn. What are you talking about? It's a shoujo anime. Okay, Okama Hakusho, Okama Report. Okama is a man who has some problems. First off, his name means gay in Japanese. Next, he has the hots for himself, dressed as a girl. I mean, nothing wrong with that, my dude. Finally, he ends up working at a transvestite bar where he befriended a girl named Miki. Dog. Alright. This is not an easy matter to solve because she only knows him as his female counterpart named Catherine. So how is a guy dressed as a girl supposed to come out to a girl as a heterosexual male? To make matters worse, she has a boyfriend who's trying everything in the book to get with her. Enter the exciting world of Okama Hakusho, where love comes in many different flavors. I have a feeling that Miki might be a trans woman. This sounds terrible. Oh. Yes, it does. It sounds very not good. I will not be watching it. The quote is, I've seen this porn before, I'm just misappropriating it to you. Oh, I've never heard of it. Sweet Spot. These amusing adventures of Golf Crazy Office Lady were based on a manga from Weekly Spa magazine by Yatsuko Shudoji. I feel like I've heard of this one before. Alright, what else have we got? We have Ippon Bucho Montaro. Based on a manga by Big Joe. I'm not gonna lie. I also feel like I've heard of this one before. It's about cooking. Yeah. For some reason, I swear I've heard of this. Well, moving on. Okay, what do we got? Shizu Kanaru Dawn Yakuza Side Story. This manga depicts the life of Shinizu Kondo, a man who designs underwear by day and is the dawn of a gang at night. Now, this might surprise you, but I have never heard of this. This one's new. I think the concept is kind of interesting, but like the thing is like a dude who designs underwear by day and is a mafia boss at night. Like that's a good character, but that doesn't seem like a good 45-minute show. Is what I'm saying. Like this doesn't seem like you could hold a story down with that. Like you can't just make a character and be like, all right, done. Koha Ginjiro, trusty Ginjiro. After the death of his elder brother, Ginjiro Yamazaki appoints himself his parents' protector. After transferring to a new school, he gets into a lot of fights. I don't know if I've heard of this before, but I've seen the poster at some point. I've seen this poster. The lingerie store is a front. I think I have heard of this before. Dr. Typhoon. This one I haven't heard of. Based on a seinen manga written by Takahashi Michitsune and illustrated by Kazuma Aiji, serialized in Weekly Manga Action. This is a golf anime. Asuka Nihon no Reikishi. This one I definitely have heard of. And so this, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, was made by a cult. I believe this is made by a cult. Called the... I want to say Happy Fun Time Cult. But that sounds wrong. Made by the Happy Science Cult, I believe. I believe this is anime propaganda created by the Happy Science Cult. Anyway, I'm pretty sure this was made by the Happy Science Cult. I think. At least that's what it looks like. It looks like the Happy Science Cult in anime. Anyway, moving on. Ryujin Kappei. Kappei gets drowned into a strange picture book. Then he found himself in the Edo era and 400 years ago, where the King of Evil was trained to take away every Anime's Battlefield Earth. I mean, yes, actually. But Battlefield Earth makes more sense. Every sounds and voices in the world. Oh, it's crisis for the beautiful sound which Princess Shizu plays. Hurry up, Kappei, riding the Dragon Lord. Fight with a brave sword. This is just the plot of Legend of Zelda. My Crossroad. Chico, dreaming of being tomorrow's star, is an absent-minded and careless person, but has stronger passion than anybody else. Today, as every day, she's doing her best to get the role of heroine in the graduation play. A sweet, sweet story with a comical touch. Well, good for her. Shining Dream. Singer Mitchell Janshone, a hero of Michi, has been taken away by a witch to the magical world, to the magic world. Michi rushed into the witch's world to help Mitchell out there with Maki and Manny. What is going to happen to them? That was just fucking sounds. T! I want to almost watch this just so people can scroll through my anime list and see that I at one point watched T. Takehiko, a successor of rope skipping family, has gone traveling to look for his younger brother who was kidnapped by an incarnation of evil long ago. He finally found his brother, but he had to fight with the evil rope skipping hermit to get him back. This is the only way, Takehito. Go for it. I'm gonna watch this just so I can say I watched T. I have to find this. I have to fucking watch T. Fushigu no Umi no Nadia original movie, Nadia, The Secret of Blue Water, the motion picture. 3 years after the defeat of Gargoyle and Neo Atlantis, a new threat. Do I have Nadia on my list, by the way? I go back and forth on whether I even give a shit about this show. Okay. Geiger, using advanced robot technology, is attempting to begin a world war and take control of the devastated world after the destruction has stopped. Once again, Nadia and Jean must fight to save the world, only this time from itself. Alright, what do we got here? Michi Tekeru Toki no Muko ni. Nailed it. If you want to see something funny, look at my score for this show versus the movie. Sure, why not? Fuck it. Holy shit, we're still in spring. Alright, the movie. I'm assuming you gave a good score to the show and a terrible score to the movie. The show got a 9, and the movie got a 4. Yep. Ugh, excuse me. Based on a Suzuki Koji novel, Paradise, which won the Japan Fantasy Novel Award in 1991. Okay. And this is Jangdok Dai. Okay, it's Korean. I feel less bad about being like, how the fuck do I make these sounds? This is a 1991 Korean historical movie. The movie is awful in literally every way. We've made it to summer 1991. Yes! Fucking classic. Onisama, dear brother, when 16-year-old Nanako Misuno enters the prestigious all-girl Seirin Academy, she believes a bright future awaits for her. Instead, the unlucky girl finds herself dragged into a web of deceit, misery, and jealousy. On top of that, she's chosen as the newest inductee of the sorority, an elite group whose members are the envy of the entire school. Having none of the grace, wealth, or talent of the other members, Nanako quickly draws the ire of her jealous classmates, especially the fierce Aya Misaki. To cope with her increasingly difficult school life, Nanako recalls her day through letters to her former teacher Takehiko Henmi, whom she affectionately family calls Onisama. She also finds comfort with her 4 closest friends, her childhood friend Tomoko Arikura, the sociable but erratic Mariko Shinobu, the troubled musician Rei Asaka, and the athletic tomboy Kaoru Orihara. An impassioned dream about hardships of bullying, Onisama chronicles a young girl's harsh life at her new school as she endures cruel rumors, heartless classmates, and countless social trials. I'm actually surprised this isn't already on my list. And we're done, because nothing came out in the summer. Bump, 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 but that is one sexy cat. Bump, 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 bump. I feel like I said that the first time we saw the sexy cat. OVAs. Otaku no Video. This one's pretty famous. Somewhat based on the real story of how Gainax was founded, Otaku no Video addresses all aspects of otaku lifestyle. Ken Kubo is a young man living an average life until he's dragged into a group of otaku. Slowly he becomes more like them until he decides to abandon his former life to become king of otaku, the Otaku-ing. The Oda King mixed in live-action interviews with real otaku, addressing everyday aspects of hardcore otaku life. Not only are anime and manga fans included, but also sci-fi fans, military fans, and other groups of Japanese geeks. Yeah, this is a relatively famous anime. This has an English release from Discotek. Interesting. Honestly, I feel like I should watch it just for the historical value. This is one of those, like, you gotta watch it for the historical. This is either 3 eyes, or 3x3 eyes, or 3x3 eyes. Anyway, guess what? I fucking heard of it. 3x3 Eyes is the story of a young man named Yakumo Fuji who, through a strange series of events, becomes the immortal slave of the last of the race of 3-eyed demons. The demon absorbs his soul to save his life, making him immortal in process. Now he begins a journey with the female demon in an attempt to find the way of becoming human. Of course, there are many complications along the way, not least of which the demon being a female with a split personality, one achingly cute and the other being a no-nonsense destructive power and romance that develop between. I'm fucking in. Not Otaku no Video, the fucking, what's it called? Dear Brother. Oh! Well. Arslan Senki. Another famous anime. In the medieval kingdom of Pars, young Prince Arslan confronts the hostility of his father and the disinterest of his mother, and he yearns to learn more about the world. Despite being surrounded by poverty and slavery, Arslan persists in seeing the possibility of a nobler world. Everything changes when the neighboring kingdom of Lusitania invades Pars, and Arslan is forced to grow up in an instant. Arslan Senki follows Prince Arslan to war, where he struggles to save his nation and family with the help of a small but devoted circle of advisors. Along the way, the young prince finds secrets around every corner and faces enemies who hate him because of what he is, but also finds friends where he least expects them. The story of nations at war, Arslan Senki, is the story of a boy whose quest to stay himself in the most trying of circumstances. Yeah, so this is a pretty famous anime, and it just, honestly, it just kind of, like, never grabbed my attention. Yo! Ferangis can get it, though. God damn! Arb was dubbed by Central Park Media. I think there's been like 30 different versions of it, to be honest. So even if I were to watch one, I might even be better off watching the 2015 one, which I think has higher reviews. So, and it's probably just better, is the thing. Plus, and this is controversial, and I know I'm a bit alone in this, I actually generally prefer more like modern digitally animated TV shows than I do like the hand-drawn 90s style, just because I'm not as big of a fan of like the roughness, and I prefer the, like, how do I say this, like the harsher colors, I should say. Like there's a lot of like differences in like line work and coloration between like old 90s like hand-drawn animation cells and stuff versus like the arguably lazier but more but digital animation styles. Did that make sense? I feel like that halfway made sense. Like, Okay, I'm just gonna say the result. More like I've noticed like later animation that started using computers, which I think started happening around what 98 was it? Tends to have um, like sharper line work and also has like bolder colors. Like if you'll notice here, the colors here, like this is a very harsh green. This is a bit of a harsher blue, but then you come here. I think that's actually from a novel. That's probably not a great choice. You come over to here, you'll notice it uses softer colors and a bit of a rougher lines. You know what I'm saying? There we go. Like you compare this to this. I know that's not actually a popular opinion, and that's fine. It's more of like an aesthetics thing. I just like the like bolder, sharper look of more modern anime. Anyway, Bubblegum Crash, Mad Bull. I reviewed Mad Bull at one point. I fucking swear I did. This is Taito Monogatari. When an evil sorcerer bent on crushing the greatest city on Earth uses dark powers to awaken the destructive spirit of Tokyo's historic guardian, Taira no Masakado, occultists, children, and scientists become embroiled in a ravenous struggle spanning 2 decades. This is Ningo no Mori, Mermaid Forest. I've definitely heard of Mermaid Forest, but I think I've heard of Mermaid Forest because of the creator? Because of the creator, that's right. I was like, I feel like this has a famous creator, and it does. It's Rumiko Takahashi. Let's see. It is said that consuming the flesh of the mermaid confers immortality. This certainly proved to be the case for 500-year-old Yuta and his friend Mana. However, most people who try to become immortal either die or transform into monsters. 50 years ago, Tawa Kanagi was given mermaid blood by her sister Salwa in order to cure a fatal illness. Now Tawa maintains her youthful appearance save for her white hair and beastly arm. For years, she has dreamed of restoring her body, resorting to blood transfusions from youthful corpses aided by the local Dr. Sheena. Mana, mistaken for dead by Sheena, is brought to have her blood used by Tawa when she discovers that Mana is alive. What lengths will Tawa go in order to restore herself? Would Yuta be able to save Mana in time? This sounds pretty good. I'll give this a watch. You read the manga? Is it worth watching? This is Detonator Organ, which clearly I've heard of this because I'm apparently whatever Detonator Organ is, I'm like, oh, I'm on board for Detonator Organ. Fleeing from his own race, Organ, an alien being with superhuman abilities and unearthly weapons, travels to Earth to find an answer to his origin. There he bonds with a young man named Tomoro to defend Earth against eviluters who seek nothing but the destruction of other civilizations. I have absolutely no fucking idea why I would have added this to my goddamn list. My only thought is at one point I saw a clip and I was like, that looks fucking insane. And I was on board because otherwise I don't, that doesn't even sound watchable. All right, what do we got here? We've got Keko Kamen. At the academy, Miami Takashi attends higher education and is sunk to the lowest levels of depravity. With armed hall monitors, teachers who wear masks to hide their identities, and a special detention sessions and a torture chamber beneath the gym. It's a curriculum designed to chew up sweet young things. And poor Miami has been voted least likely to survive in her class. Is there no hope? Can no one save her? Enter Keiko Kamen, the most outrageous superheroine ever. This is a Go Nagai series, isn't it? Yep. I knew it. Clad in a red mask, red boots, and nothing else, she is the supreme protector of innocence like Miami, armed with her trusty nunchaku and a body that just won't quit. She'll make a chopped pork out of swine who run the school from hell. But who is she really? The only one who knows for sure is creator Go Nagai, and he's not giving away anything except for lots of free peeks at Keiko Kamen's magnificent physique. Well, we're on the fucking train, right? Might as well ride it at this point. Alright. Keiko Kamen was a joke Go Nagai submitted to his editor for a laugh, but his editor loved it, so it became a series. Ozanari Dungeon Kaze no To. The king of the Tower of Winds seeks the power of the legendary dragon's head and employs the fighter Mocha, the thief Burman, and the magic user Kiramon to steal it for him. But the dragon's head is sealed in the temporal fire, and to capture it, Mocha will have to face a sect that has protected it generation after generation. Well, I love her design. It's actually super cute. 26 episodes across 3 episodes is, what is that, 69 minutes? That's not bad. Minoru Maeda. He has a picture. That's why the character design is good. Yeah, he did character designs for Dragon Ball, but that's not. Let's not give him credit. Let's not give him credit for that. But it's based on a manga. Yeah, it's based on a manga. So it doesn't matter who the character designer is. It matters who the original creator is. And that is Moto Koyama, who only did this, something called Nozari Dungeon, and something called Final Coffee Break. I assume Nozari Dungeon is the sequel to Ozari Dungeon. How did I know? You know what? Yeah, I'll give it a shot. I got a feeling about it. Alright, what else we got? We've got Tenku Senki Shirato Soisei no Anto, which I think I've heard of. This is a continuation of the Tiri series. That would be why I think I've heard of it. The Battle of the Celestial Sphere is over. Guy and Shirato have been erased from history. However, spoilers. However, another danger is coming ahead. The 8 Guardians are sent back to Earth to investigate as Shirato tries to win back his friends in a world that has forgotten him. A new villain has a mysterious plan for them. What did I think of the original one? Didn't even bother. It was like, nope, out of here. Alright, what do we got here? Asate Dance. I like the poster. Dance Till Tomorrow. Suikichi goes to university and has, as any Japanese student, time for hobbies. Things change when he attends his great-grandfather's funeral and wakes the next morning in his room with a very sexy girl beside him. His great-grandfather has left him a little inheritance, but there are some conditions. Meanwhile, sexy Aya keeps hanging around and refuses to go away, the beginning of a strange relationship which revolves around suspicion and desire. Okay. No, honestly, I'm in. I'm fucking in. I want to know what's going on with this. What do we got? This is Exper Xenon. Let's see. I've heard of this. Let's see. Hiroshi Zeno is an average high school student whose only talent lies in arcade games. One day after setting a new high score over 900 million of his favorite game, he happens upon an advertisement called Expers. The games promise both amazing gameplay and a chance of winning the affection of the beautiful Princess Antover, so Hiroshi signs up to play. The next day, Hiroshi at school with a mysterious capsule crashes into his classroom. Within it contains Princess Antover herself. She gives Hiroshi a powered suit that grants abilities and tells him that he's the main character of a video game, naming him Xenon. Fortunately, in order to win, Hiroshi must defeat all of his opponents, other players with the desire to become the main character of the game. Will Hiroshi be able to save this deadly game and uncover its true danger? This is Scott Pilgrim. This is anime Scott Pilgrim, and to be entirely honest, I don't know why this wasn't on my list in the first place. Shia Wasate Nani. After scoring poorly on tests, a young boy named Alto-san sees little point in returning home. While Alto-san broods over his helpless situation, any other young child questions his decisions. As Alto confesses his struggles, Tenshi-san decides to lift him up and teach him the true meaning of happiness. This is Chojin Lock Shinseki Sentai, which I've definitely heard of before. Lock the Superman, New World Command. Azalea has been residing in the colony planet of Dinal, and she can't recall anything about herself until she hears a voice calling her name. Then there's another voice summoning her to go to the park on top of a skyscraper. When she arrives there, she meets with other people who also have no recollection of who they are or what they are doing. This is the worst description. Before arriving at this destination as instructed by the voice. All the assembly there possess superhuman powers such as Ino's psychic power, Umath's X-ray vision, Nia's teleportation powers. Someone won the fucking lottery. Azalea's telepathy, and Locke's electrical wizardry. Who has summoned them, and what will these 5 super psychics confront? And I'm bored now. Moving on, we have NG Knight Ramun and 40EX Biku Biku Triangle I no Arashi Daisakusen. Lamoon has returned to Earth with no memory of his adventures on Hara Hara World and Doki Doki Space. The remains of Gobu Hiriki find their way to Earth and awaken the spirit of Dawn Harumage, while Coco builds a new fighting vehicle and stuff she finds around Tokyo. Milk and Leska set off to find Lamoon and Dai Cider to save the day before the new Gobu Hiriki is revived and destroys the Earth. I've heard of this before. Izumo. I've definitely heard of Izumo. A historical fantasy set in 3rd century mythical Japan. It tells the story of Izumo, the young prince of Nakatsukuni. He's not very interested in studying, unlike his cousin Daikiru. Instead, he wants to see the wider world. One day, a mysterious girl named Sane shows up as a stowaway on an airship. Although nominally from Yamatai Koku, she is actually from Naga, a shadowy people possessing magical powers. Sane is kidnapped by Takeru, a warrior from the rival kingdom of Akusa, and is placed at the mercy of an evil witch, Yomihime. Izumu, helped by an orphaned glider pilot named Navi, must now take up the secret sword of his country, master its powers, and rescue Sane. However, before that, he must defeat the reawakened 8-headed snake of legend, Yamada no Orochi. Well, they just threw everything in the kitchen sink at this one. Anyway, yeah, it sounds cool. Yukon Club. Hey, guess what? I haven't heard of this one. St. President School is one of the most wealthy schools around. Everybody in the school respects the Yukon Club, the most popular and richest group in the school. This includes Shochi Kubai, Miroku, Kenbishi Yuri, and Kiku Masumune Seishiro. Hakushika Noriko, and Kizakura Karin. Can you just have, like, normally long names instead of absurdly long names, please? They go through dangerous adventures to save their school and, of course, just to kill spare time. This is Hoshi Kuzu Paradise. It looks familiar, but I don't think I've actually heard of this one. We'll find out. After his mother passed away, high school student Hiroshi Hosho's long-lost father suddenly reappears along with 2 new family members, a new mother who is a famous actress and her daughter, the popular, beautiful singer, Rina Yuki. Hey, guess what? I have not heard of this one, but the art style looks vaguely familiar, so I'm wondering who did this. Paradise Without Stars, Stardust Paradise. No. Original creator Aki Katsu. Who did Futari Ecchi. I knew something about it looked familiar. Okay, Lika-chan Fushigi na Mao no Ring. Second part of the EVA series that was later adapted into a TV show in 1998. I apparently didn't think this was worth watching. Based on a popular Lika doll in Japan, Lika is transported to the world Uni and must find a way to return home. It has a really good art style, but I think it's probably one of those ones where it's like, oh, if it grabs me, I'll watch the actual televised anime when it comes out. That is a crisp. Oh, that looks cool. Look at that fucking poster. Oh, yeah, okay, I can see why I would have looked at that and was like, no, I'll just watch the anime when it comes out, because, like, that looks so much more appealing to me. Kyofu Shinbun. For reasons unknown to him, Ray receives the Kyofu Shinbun every morning, a newspaper which foresees deaths and catastrophes, based on Tsunoda Jiro's classic horror manga, Kyofu Shinbun, serialized in Weekly Shonen Champion, which is a magazine I don't think I've ever heard of in my entire life. No, wait, I feel it. No, I've heard of Shonen Champion. I'm a liar. I've heard of Shonen Champion. But is it still around? It is because it publishes Beastars and Iruma-kun. Yeah, I was like, no, wait, hold up. I've definitely... And Baki, yeah. I was... Let's see. We have My So-O Border. Featuring a modern-day odd couple, the naive virgin Kubuta and the handsome charmer Hachisuka, who meet by accident in a Middle Eastern desert and return to Japan, hustle their way through life. They start by getting involved in shady TV dealings where they get jobs making fake documentaries. Honestly, that sounds good. That just sounds good. Okay. Yeah, no. Yeah, I'm in. Okay. Yokohama Meibutsu Otoko Katayama Gumi. The city of Yokohama has become a lawless district for biker gangs. One particular gang, the Crazy Babies, have a 17-year-old leader called Hiromi Katayama that is famous throughout the entire Kanagawa Alliance as being a strong fighter with a devout sense of morality. However, when young rookie by the name of Toshi Ikeda wants in, he swears to Katayama that he will uphold the ideas of the Crazy Babies and vows to not fight with anybody for his first probationary month with the gang or else forfeit his chance to join the gang. Ikeba, being the fiery young man he is, soon finds himself caught in the middle of a fight and unintentionally sparks a feud between the gangs of Kanagawa and the dangerous Nagoya-based group, the Dragon Star Crew, who have their eye on taking the whole of Kanto. Can Katayawa defend Yokohama from the encroaching hoodlums? I don't know. Money Wars! Wareta Waterfront Keikaku. A new waterfront area is being built in Tokyo, and the Chinese mafia man Ling Haifeng wants to gain control of it by owning the majority stock of a company in charge of construction. Lin's plan is to use waterway as a gateway for the Chinese mafia in an attempt to turn Tokyo into a new Hong Kong. After his friend Kurihara commits suicide after unknowingly helping Lin get a hold of some stocks, his friend Tsuyoshi Aiba aims to avenge his friend by keeping Lin from taking over the waterfront. Okay. This is Ushiro no Hayukutaro. Horror OVA based on the manga by Jiro Tsunoda. The title roughly means Hayukutaro behind. A boy named Ichitaru Ushiro deals with various horrifying phenomena with the help of his guardian spirit, Hayukutaro. 2 episodes. Kokuri Satsujin Jinken and Yutai Ridatsu. This is Naki no Ryu Hiryo no Sho, 1991. An OVA released in 1991. Unlike the previous OVA series, this episode was produced separately by Toshiba. I don't know what the previous thing was. What was the previous thing? Oh, this is a Mahjong guy. Yeah, this is 1988 Mahjong guy. That's how I know him. This is Ishi Hisachi no Dai Sekai. This is based on the same name gag manga by Hisachi Ishii. This is CY. It was a beautiful full moon night when Shisa landed on Earth in her spaceship from a galaxy far away. She is a student from another planet and has come to the Earth to have earthly friends in order to graduate university. Chisa didn't have any idea what to do with her computer brain was broken. Oh my gosh, the deadline is tomorrow noon. How can she get out of this mess? Daiki. Young actor Daiki longed to be a star on Broadway someday. He worked hard day and night to realize his dream. Finally, it seemed his chance had come. He was given a role as a homosexual guy. He felt his time had come, but an actor's life is difficult. His efforts and passion gradually brought him more success. It would not be too long that he would have his chance on Broadway. All right, let's go to movies. Dragon Ball Z Movie 5. Tobi Kiri no Saikyo Tai Saikyo. Or as we called it in America, Cooler's Revenge, which I feel like is probably a much more famous name. Goku-san and his friends are out camping when 3 mysterious enemies ambush them. After a quick fight, and a 4th enemy named Cooler joins the fray, seeking retribution for his younger brother Frieza. After he was defeated, Cooler attacks Goku. However, the latter manages to escape with Gohan's son. He goes into hiding. Unsatisfied and infuriated with the outcome, Cooler and his men begin to hunt and uncover Goku's location and kill him to carry out their plans of exacting revenge. What I find interesting about this is it said it was written by Mal Rewrite, which I think kind of explains why it's so fucked up, because it goes Goku's son when normally you would write Son Goku for Goku. Because whenever you would either write Goku or you would write Son Goku. Very rarely would you ever call him Goku's son, like that. But when you do that, you normally don't double the U's, right? So, like, which isn't to say that an extended U on Goku is incorrect. You could do that. You could write with an extended U for Goku. It just wouldn't be typically how you would do it, right? So the method of writing these characters' names is very, like, Japanese-centric. And the only reason that I bring this up is that if you'll notice here, there is an I in Frieza. And the I in Frieza is the American way to spell Frieza, which means someone attempted to write this out the Japanese style, but they still used the American spelling for Frieza. This is just, like, confused bullshit, is what's happening in this. Rumiko Takahashi and Akira Toriyama naming characters after random shit. Amoide Poro. I fucking hate this movie, and I already reviewed it, so we don't need to talk about it. Toriyama, shit, I need a name. Cooler, Takahashi. Okay, I need a stupid name for this guy. Pantyhose, got it. I will say, in Toriyama's singular defense, I do not believe he named Cooler, because the Cooler's Revenge movie is actually non-canon. He did, however, name Frieza. But Frieza is named Frieza, I believe, because he's, like, cold. Like, he's ice cold, I think is the idea. Not because he's, like, a refrigerator. Which is why his dad is named, like, King Cold or some shit. But not to say that not to say that Toriyama doesn't name characters after random bullshit. Like, all of the Namekians are named after woodwind instruments, for example, and all of the Saiyans' real names are just fucking vegetables. So, he totally does that. It's just, he didn't specifically name Cooler. Rojin Z. The Z project was intended to give a new generation a break from caring for the old. The original intention was to create a machine to care for them without any intervention. At first glance, it looked like an excellent plan, and many of the younger generation approved of its application. But when old Mr. Takazawa became the test subject for the Z001 machine, Haruka questioned both the tactics of the hospital and the moral implications of the machine. This is just the beginning, as Haruka is not just a hospital, but the odds against her. But then she discovers an odd quirk about the machine. It has a biochip, and it eventually acquires a mind of its own. In Takahashi's defense, Pantyhose, Taru hates his name and everyone makes fun of him for it. Yeah, Ranma does that with the Chinese characters. They're all named after beauty products. This could be kind of interesting. Award-winning. Oh. This is going to surprise everyone. Despite apparently being award-winning, I do not think I have heard of this. Won the Mainichi Film Festival Award for animation in 1991. Oh, you've seen it. Oh, it's really good? Honestly, it sounds pretty good. So, Urusei Yatsura Movie 6, Itsudate, My Darling. Is this the bad one? Lupika, another one of the legion of space princesses that all seem to have found out about Earth in some tour book. Was it really a tour book? Appears and abducts Ataru, but Lupika isn't after Ataru for his great looks or charming personality, because he doesn't have either. Lupika's goal is the greatest love potion in the galaxy, which she intends to use to induce her sweetheart to tie the knot. To get it, she needs the possessor of the greatest lust in the universe. This is a 5 out of 10. So I don't know if this is the bad one or the mediocre one. I don't have context. That If it was like a 4 or a 3, I'd have been like, this is the bad one. Silent Mobius, the motion picture. I've definitely heard of this. In the futuristic Tokyo, several policewomen, hell yeah, part of the fucking 90s policewoman genre, fight a monster. One of them, Katsumi Liqueur, remembers where she saw it before. Katsumi Liqueur, an American-born woman of Japanese descent, travels to Tokyo to visit her mother, Fuyuka, who is sick in the hospital. She takes a shortcut through an alley after a taxi gets stuck in traffic, only to encounter a monster and 2 policewomen fighting it. Later, she meets their chief, Rally Cheyenne? Cheyenne? I'm going to go with Cheyenne. 3 and 6 are not good. It is one of the bad ones. Who it seems has been expecting her. Though Katsumi has never met her before, the policewomen want Katsumi to help fight the monster, but Katsumi, who does not want to believe in magic, resists. Honestly, I like the poster. It's 90s policewoman shit. I'm on fucking board. And it has a sequel. And it has another thing. It has a 1998 TV anime. Which I feel like I've heard of. I feel like I've heard of Silent Mobius. Because once you hit the 90s, I've apparently heard of at least 50% of everything I'm reading. What makes 6 is so stupid is the 5th movie is the ending of the manga, so why is there a 6th movie? Oh, it's one of those. Dragon Quest, Dai no Daiboken. Okay, this is definitely one of the things where I would just play the game. It starts with a kid named Dai remembering a story told to him by his grandfather, the monster magician Brass, about the defeat of the demon Lord Hadlar by the hands of a hero who, as the story progresses, is known to be Avan. Yeah, I'll just play the game. Ziggy, Sorayuke R&R Band. Japanese rock band Ziggy comes to London and gets attacked by the arrival of the hotel after a recording session. The musicians barely escape the attack. However, soon they learn that the producer has been murdered, and they're the suspects. Chased by police and some mysterious organization, they find shelter at local rockers' place and give performance there, but it's not too long before their pursuers appear again. I have either heard of this movie, or I have heard of a band called Ziggy. I have apparently heard of a band called Ziggy. There you go. Okay. I was like, I have heard of this movie if there is no actual band called Ziggy. If there is a band called Ziggy, I've just heard of the band. This is Magical Taru To Kun More. Oh, we've already read this. We don't need to. This is Huckleberry no Boken. Is this just Huckleberry Finn? What is this? Movie version of the TV series Huckleberry no Boken. No Boken. This is just Huckleberry Finn. Okay, great. Moving on. Ziggy Stardust is a David Bowie song. Well, Ziggy Stardust is, I'm sure, the David Bowie like song, but he also like took on a Ziggy Stardust persona, didn't he? For like at least a full album. Yeah, as a fictional character created by David Bowie. Yeah, there is a song called Ziggy Stardust, but there is an entire album called The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, I think there's an entire album because he like took it on as like a musical persona briefly. But it's also a Japanese band, I think. Which is why it's a Japanese rock band. I've heard of the Japanese rock band called Ziggy. Obviously I've heard of, David Bowie though. So, but I knew specifically I wasn't thinking of Ziggy Stardust. Anyway, Lupin III, Napoleon no Jisho no Ubai. Lupin III, Napoleon's Dictionary. Lupin has a lively time of it this time in the classic car race from Madrid to Paris. The race prize is Napoleon's Dictionary, which I believe a race that is the opening of like the first like, I believe that's like Lupin the Third, episode 1, in fact. The race prize is Napoleon's Dictionary, which contains the key to the treasure of the Empire, something that just about everyone seems to be after. Lupin and his buddies take after the prize, pursued not only by the perennial inspector, but also an army of secret agents around the world. Classic cars and state-of-the-art weapons heighten the speed and thrills of this adventure. Super underrated character is Lupin's love interest. Mutual love interest, but dear God, do they have a fucking tumultuous relationship, because Fujiko Mine is fucking afraid of intimacy. Anyway, Fujiko Mine is, like, legitimately one of my favorite anime characters of all time. You see, I even have her as one of my favorite anime characters of all time. I fucking love Fujiko. Anyway. R20, Ginga Kuko. A pilot film from the unmade Gainax anime that was planned to follow the first movie, Royal Space Force, Wings of Honemise. However, Wings of Honemise failed at the box office in the recent collapse of the Japanese asset price bubble. No company was willing to fund it. Finally. I don't think she's underrated because every time Lupin comes up, people start jerking off about Fujiko. First off, I'm glad to hear that. To the point I'm sick about hearing about her. But second off, what I will say about that is I don't think Lupin comes up enough in the conversation, is what I'm actually saying. But it's good to hear that other Lupin fans are also Fujiko fans, because Fujiko's the fucking best. Anyway. Dragon Quest Dai no Daiboken TV. After the defeat of Demon Lord Hadler, all of the monsters were unleashed from his evil and moved to the island of Delmurin to live in peace. Dai is the only human living in the island. Having been raised by kindly monster Brass, Dai's dream is to grow up to be a hero. He gets to become one when Hadler is resurrected, and the previous hero Raven comes to train Dai to help the battle. But Hadler, announcing that he now worked for an even more powerful Demon Lord, comes to kill Avon. To save his students, Avon uses a self-sacrifice spell to attack, but is unable to defeat Hadler when it seems that Dai and Avon's other student, Pop, are doomed to a mark appears at Dai's forehead, and he suddenly gains superpowers and is able to fend off Hadler. The two students go on a journey to avenge Avon and bring peace back to the world. Great, now I don't have to play the game. Lupin is one of those things where people talk about how great it is so much I have no interest in Lupin. Let's see. Yokoyama Mitsuteru Sengokushi. Around 1800 years ago in China, the ruling power of the Han Dynasty became weakened and the flames of war spread throughout the land. Liu Bei was a young, poor straw mat seller from the countryside of Hebei Hisang. After pledging eternal brotherhood with the two heroes, Guan Yu, Zhang Fei, Lui began building his idea of a righteous kingdom that would aid citizens who suffered from persecutions. I mean, I have seen season 1 and like 18 episodes of season 2. It's a good show. It's not like drop everything you're doing and go watch good though, right? So I don't know. Like I don't see a lot of people talking about Lupin is the thing. So I'm not sure who you're talking to that you're getting fucking Lupin shoved down your throat, but 99% of the time when Lupin comes up in the conversation, it's just Castle of Cagliostro. Morio Top Striker. Hikaru Kicker is a 13-year-old boy who loves football. He has grown up playing football at all times ever since his father's friend gave him one when he was still only a bobby. Hikaru goes to Italy to learn the sport. He first joins a team at Genova, but soon quits his team to join an extremely weak team named Columbus with his female friend Anna. Experiencing many hardships and difficulties, their team gradually becomes stronger and stronger, and finally they defeat Margarita, one of the strongest teams in Genova. Soon Hikaru hears that Genova will stage its first soccer tournament. Throughout the tournament, Hikaru and his teammates confront many rivals and develop increasing maturity. Can Hikaru score a goal, and which team will win the championship? I'd rather watch City Hunter. That feels more my speed. Classic anime. We have Kinniku Man Kinnikusei Ui Sotsuhen. Kinnikuman has proven himself to be worthy to be crowned the next king of planet Kinniku. But at the ceremony, 5 other Kinnikumans arrival. There are more than one Kinnikuman? All claiming to be the true prince of planet Kinniku. Now Royal Survivor Tournament is being held to decide the true successor to the throne. And with the help and support of his friends, with his recently acquired knowledge of the ultimate technique, the Muscle Spark, Kinnikuman fights for what is rightfully his. The series starts after the Dream Chojin tag arc from the first series, ignoring the anime-only Psycho and Gokuaku Chojin arcs, and covers only the Survivor match for the Kinniku Throne arc. Additionally, the characters Detective Gobugari and Kinnikuotsu Obaba do not appear in this series, and only Kinnikuman and Meat have their same voice actors from the first series. And we're here. We're finally arriving. It's the one. It's the only. It's Mahou no Princess Minky Momo Yume wo Daikishimate. Magical Princess Minky Momo, hold on to your dreams. A legendary series. After the events of the first series. Okay, well, I guess the first series is legendary. A sequel to a legendary series. Fenarina Ursa continues to drift from Earth, so the king acts to help the kingdom. Marion Ursa to send their daughter Momo, who is identical to the first one, to Earth to regain humanity's faith in their dreams. Oh. This is Genji Sushin Agedama. Agedama is a small boy going to elementary school and having the usual problems for a boy his age. He's also secretly a superhero in training called Agedaman. Along with Waparo, his floating computer companion, he fights against a criminal organization who could turn humans into monsters of various types. This is Reporter Blues, starring April O'Neil from the Ninja Turtles. No, starring Antoinette Dubois. Ooh, what a fun name. I've heard of Antoinette Dubois for some reason. I've heard the name Antoinette Dubois, but I might have just heard of a woman named that. The intelligent Antoinette, known to her friends as Tony. If my name was Antoinette, I would definitely never go by Tony. Moves to Paris, where she takes a job as a reporter for the newspaper La Voix de Paris. Together with the photographer Alain and the artist Bricolage, she solves unsolvable crimes and often crosses the path of the crook Madame Lapin. I swear I have heard of this for some reason. Where to be found? I swear I have heard of this. Why have I heard of this? I've heard of this. I've heard of Antoinette Dubois, and I've heard of Reporter Blues, I think. Unless it's based on something. No, it's French. I don't know why this sounds like... I don't know why I've heard of this. Anyway, it sounds like it could be watchable, but it's also 52 episodes, so... And I do not have time to watch a 52 episode anime. This is Chie-chan Funsenki Jarinko Chie. It's an adaptation of the first series with different characters in an alternate setting. Sounds... Chie Takamoto. Yeah, I've heard about this because the anime came out in 1981. I knew why I'd heard of it, because it was like, this is an adaptation of a sequel, and I'm like, yeah, well, Chances are I read the plot of the original one. That's why it sounds familiar. This is... Oh, you know why I bet so much of this random bullshit probably sounds familiar, like Reporter Blues? Is as we go through this, we occasionally, like, I'll occasionally look at someone and I'm like, why does this person sound familiar? Or why does this art style look familiar? And I'll, like, scroll through them. And I bet I've been, like, progressively clicking on some random bullshit as we've been going through the series, and I think that I'm willing to bet that's why I keep running to like these obscure anime where I'm like, oh, I've definitely heard of this. Anyway, Marude Damio. The series stars an elementary boy named Damio Marude who has little success with anything he tries, and a robot named Borat, which is good with housekeeping. Sounds like he's winning at life, all right? He's a complete failure, and he has a robot that does whatever he wants, all right? Sounds like he's just kind of winning. Bubblegum Crash. This is Coco wa Greenwood. I like the character designs, but it also is probably terrible. Hasukawa Kazuya is in a terrible bind. His brother's new wife is also a woman that Kazuya secretly loves. Determined to avoid them both, Kazuya leaves home to live in a student dorm called Greenwood. There he hopes to find peace of mind. Unfortunately for Kazuya, stability and peace are the last thing we might find at Greenwood, home of the weirdest characters on campus. This could be fun, but honestly, the wanting to get with his brother's wife thing's a little bit of a turnoff. This is Kyoshoku Soko Guyver 2, the Guyver Bio Booster Armor. It's clearly a sequel to Guyver. Sho and his friend Tetsuro stumble on an odd alien artifact while walking through the woods. Then the alien artifact breaks free of its metallic bonds and enters Sho body, turning him into the Guyver. With his new power, Sho must do battle with the evil Kronos Corporation and fight their genetically enhanced Zoanoids, who seek to gain the Guyver back into their labs. No one as close to Sho is safe from Kronos. He must fight. Dark Cat. Hyoi and Ryoi, two brothers with the power to take the form of cats. That's not a great superpower. Like, here's the thing. Like, for 90% of... I've seen Dark Cat and it wasn't very good. 90% of superpowers, like, are exclusively beneficial, right? So, like, if someone offers you a beneficial superpower, you just accept it, right? But of all of the beneficial superpowers, the ability to turn into a cat has just, like, it cannot come up very often. Like, I can't imagine that's one that you're like, woo, I'm so glad I have the ability to turn into a cat. Like, it seems like one of those powers you just, like, if you were offered a different power, you might just swap it out. Like, it's like barely a superpower. This has an average score of 3.23. Anyway, they must unravel the mystery of creeping tentacle demon plague before it consumes them and their classmates. Ultimately, they must confront their old dark cat master, Juko Kubo, though whether they can put an end to the evil he has released remains a mystery. Yeah, this sounds fucking garbo. This is Ninja Ryu Kenden. I was gonna say, this sounds like something I've heard of, and then I realized one of the synonyms is Ninja Gaiden, and I'm like, oh, I've probably never heard of the Ninja Gaiden anime. I've probably just heard of, actual fucking Ninja Gaiden. So, on a dark night in New York City, Ryu is attacked by assassins. After disposing of them, he finds an ID card for the Friedman Company. The next day, it is announced that Dr. Ned Friedman has discovered a cure for cancer, but after providing no information at his press conference, a reporter named Sarah decides to investigate with the help of her friends Robert and Jeff. When passing Dr. Friedman's house one day, Ryu hears the voice of a young girl calling for help. When Sarah and her entourage investigate the house, while they run into their colleague, Ryu. Upon that, they discover Dr. Friedman has been conducting experiments on live humans using biotechnology, and that may have something to do with the power of evil gods, whom Ryu defeated in the past. When Ryu's friend Irene is kidnapped, he must don his role as a dragon ninja once again to defeat his new enemy and save her. Gall Force New Era. We've talked about Gall Force before. Yeah, this is like the fucking... It's like 8 levels removed from Golf Force. The year is 2291, and the citizens have a peaceful existence after a catastrophic war between humans and the human. This quiet life is about to be shattered. Leader of the human is not convinced the war is over and now plans to renew hostilities. Yeah, I think we have the original Golf Force on here, don't we? Golf Force 3, Golf Force 2, Golf Force 1. Yeah, that's what I thought. I had Golf Force 1 on here. That's what I thought. Yeah, so this is like the final Golf Force. Monkey Punch. No Sekai Alice. This one I've heard of, I think. Yeah, created by Monkey Punch, known for Lupin the Third. Yeah. Released in 1991, this OVA revolves around a mad scientist and a young woman that betrayed him. Her unfaithfulness causes the scientist to turn her into a bionic sex machine that desires to please her man completely. However, she still remains unfaithful, and it's up to the scientist's son to track her down and exact revenge. I get that cheating is wrong and all, but I think turning someone into a bionic sex machine might be over the goddamn line. Also, is that Jigen? Like, just break up with her. You don't have to go all... Like, am I insane? Or does that just seem like the more natural progression? This is Kyokyoku Chojin R, the Ultimate Esper R. The plot featured R and the Camera Club going on a stamp tour throughout Japan with the threat of their club being closed down unless they can collect all the stamps by 6 p.m. I have for sure heard of this. This is One Gatsu Niwa Christmas, which I almost certainly not heard of. Christmas in January. Nobumasa is a boy who works part-time in a shoe store where he meets a girl, Mizuki, whose abusive family life has left her unable to trust other people, while Nobumasa is unaware that another girl, Saiko, has a crush on him, but is unable to express her feelings. I was about to say, I've never heard of this, and then I read the plot and saw the character designs, and I'm like, I think I've heard of this. And yeah, I think Elise mentioned this at one point. I've definitely heard of this. I love that even when I think I haven't heard of it, I have actually heard of it. The craziest thing is at the end of Eternal, theoretically, I will have heard of every single anime ever made. From Ryosuke Takahashi and Norio Shioyama, the creative minds behind the great anime such as Armored Trooper Vitom and Panzer World Gallant, comes an epic tale of swords and sorcery. On the eternal planet of Moizika, the formerly benevolent King Cesara has possessed by an evil priest and begun a bloody path of conquest all across the world. Moizika's only hope is the young warrior Utaruma, son of Udante, and one of Sarasa's victims. If you like fantasy or classic Norio Shioyama character designs, you can't miss this 4-episode OVA. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. Most fantasy anime are fucking terrible, if we're being real with ourselves. Okay, Fuma no Kojiro, Fuma Hanranhen. After the Chaos War, Kojiro and Ryoma return to Earth only to find their clan members killing each other off. That's gotta suck, right? You go on a huge journey, and then you come back to Earth, and oh, everyone's dead. Wah wah. SAC after Mal Eternal. I would show this, but it's probably copywritten. Tomoe ga Yuku. The title character of Tomoe ga Yuku, Tomoe Will Go, is gutsy enough to roller skate down freeway thrills after losing a friend in a roller skating accident. Maybe don't do that then. Tomoe joins a stunt group called Green Ship. Although still mourning her friend's death, Tomoe has no reservations about embracing a relationship with the group leader, Kazusa. Soon after, she discovers Green Ship is a front for an assassin training camp. That took a fucking turn. She must flee her new life and rekindle her fiery spirit in order to fight against the organization which wants her dead. Well, first off, I was not on until you mentioned about how fucking on I was. But what actually grabbed my attention is, obviously I've never heard of this, don't worry, but the art style does look very familiar to me. The original creator is a woman named Yumi Tamura. I want to know who did the poster, and I'm guessing Yumi Tamura, who did Seven Seeds, which is terrible. Okay, then. Tsukiga, Noboru Made ni. Father and a daughter in Japan climb to the top of a ridge to watch the moon rise. As they wail, an old man tells them his story. They're wailing because his story is so bad. An adaptation of Tetsuya Takeda's story about the relationship between a Japanese child and an American soldier. I so very hope that they mean platonically. Neko Neko Fantasia. Shiro is a black cat who loves her family very much. She loves them so much she wants to help them out in times of need and trouble, but it's difficult to do this if she's just a cat. So one night she wishes on the moon to make her to be able to help, and the next day she's turned into a human girl. I think I've heard of the manga. I don't think I've heard of the anime. Otohime Connection. I've definitely heard of this. A special manga based on Oyo Kazumi published in Betsukomi Flower Comics. An all-male pop group doubles as a detective agency. The cute girl member of the agency is kidnapped when one of the man's past returns to trouble them all in the present. This is Gecko no Pierce, Yumemi Togin no Bara no Kishidan. When we get to the 2000s, I'm going to have to start saying when I haven't heard of something. Because I want to stop saying I've heard of things because it's becoming constant. But because of the mysterious earring, Yumemi, a young Japanese student, becomes involved in a mysterious story. She must go to Germany, where she learns that the spirit of an evil prince is haunting her earring. Speaking of which, I don't think I've heard of this one. This is Infurious Wakusei Senshi Gaiden Condition Green. Keith, George, Edward, Young, and Shaw are platoon number 801, the five-man team formed to protect their homeworld in the infurious galaxy from alien invasion. Gazaria's evil emperor Vince conquers the neighbors' worlds of Cal and Granad, and suddenly only platoon 801, also known as Condition Green, stands between him and conquest of Emerald Earth. Sounds like complete dog shit. It sounds so not good. Okay, Ora no Sora Keiji Hen. The poster looks familiar. Yasudo Ippei, Shinozaki Ken, is the son of Yasuda Seijiro Osugi Ren, the head of the Yasuda Group, Japan's biggest business conglomerate. Although he is the son of a distinguished family, he has absolutely no disagreeable areas and is liked by everyone. His academic achievements are exceptional. He completed his entire high school program in only 2 years and qualified for Tokyo. I love that, like, it's like he's a genius, but he's like the kind of genius that, like, could exist in real life. And is qualified for Tokyo's University Faculty of Law without studying for the exams. In order to establish his own concept of justice, Yasuda leaves his position as heir to the Yasuda Group to attend police academy, becomes a detective at Kobayashi Police Precinct, and bravely faces against evil. This could be fun. I could watch this. Yeah, I'd watch that. I'd watch Genius Detective Man, Genius Detective It Up. Sure, fuck it. Alright, what else we got? We got Nuyen Boki Monogatari Odai Jini. Yamashite and Nagishi end up in a hospital with broken legs and arms. It's summer vacation. They're very bored, so they start picking on the cute nurse Miyuki. That sounds like a thing. They look like fucking menaces, honestly. I think I would hate them. Okay, Uchare Goshigawara. This is about sports? Musashi Mountain High School, 3rd grade. Goshigawara is the only member of the school sumo club. In order to take part in competitions, he tries to attract more members. And thanks to enthusiasm and sincerity, 4 more people join the club. Judo team captain Kaoru Kiyokawa. Pro wrestler Takayuki Kanai. Skinny thug wannabe Nano Ippei. And Raiden Goro, a giant guy but a very shy person who opposite happens to be an expert Go player. The 5 train together and later took part in competition against professional sumo club. Y'all, I'm going to be honest. I'm not a big sumo person. I'm sorry. Jingi. So, there's no information about this. And I'm going to be honest, this might surprise everyone, considering there's no information about this, and no one on MAL has ever claimed to watch this. But I have never heard of this. This doesn't look even a little familiar. And I fucking wonder why. Oh. Alright. Chobaku Matsu Shonin Seki Takamura. The art style looks kind of fun. 19th Century Boy Takamaru. I've heard of 20th Century Boy. Yeah, no, nothing. Okay. Soko Kyojin Z-Night. Promotional videotape with short Z-Night anime and other clips sold with a Z-Night double pack, including color variations of 2 nights. Well, alright then. Miracle Seicher Seizen. I was gonna say this sounds vaguely familiar, but I don't think it is. Like, looking at the poster, I don't think I've ever actually seen this. I don't think I've heard of this. Alright, movies. Ranma 1/2 Chugoku, Nekonron Daikessen, Okite Yaburi no Get. The title just keeps going. Geki Tohen, or Renma 1/2 Big Trouble in Nekonron, China. All is well at the Tendo residence. From out of nowhere, a Chinese girl named... Eventually, I should fucking get on that fucking Renma train. Like, maybe I should dip my toe in some Renma at one point. Chinese girl named Lai Chi appears seeking revenge on Haposai for a broken promise made since her birth. Things get worse when Kirin and the 7 lucky gods appear and abduct Akane to take as his wife. Ranma and the gang must travel to Nekonron, China, and save Akane from getting married to Kirin. This is Dachigahara. This is a story of an astronaut who is sent to a penal colony planet, and there he meets an old woman. If I got sent to a fucking penal colony, I'd just meet an old woman, I'm freaking the fuck out. There, it shows him the truth of life and love. Originally a short manga, The Lion Books, it was made into an anime series. The chief character, Jess, fights to bring down the dictator of the Federation of Earth and other planets, but is arrested by the federal authorities and sent to a penal colony planet. The story focuses on him using Japanese Noah drama, Kurozuka, as a motif. Straight up. You had me until you said he uses a no drama. And then I'm like, I don't want to watch some dude fucking do a play or some shit. I like the idea of guy going to penal colony, meets old woman, changes life. But then it's like, and then there's a play, and I'm like, oh, I don't want that. Bakuban Osumatsu no Kari wa Tazu Nete Sansenri, which is somehow tangentially related to the Osumatsu series. finally, we have Bazaar de Gozar, which is a commercial campaign by NEC to sell various goods with a monkey mascot named Bazaar. Each commercial essentially has Bazaar trying to go to the NEC store to buy a specific good. That commercial is selling but failing along the way. The commercials are narrated in puns and tongue twisters. Guess what? I have not heard of these commercials. Probably because there were a series of commercials that ran in Japan in 1991. Which was, if you're keeping track, before I was born. Okay. Heko do John Gun. That cannot be Japanese. It's not. I think it's Korean. Or Chinese. But that cannot be Japanese. There is no information about this at all. Oh, we're done. We're done. There we go. That was 1991. That was every anime from 1991. Oh, God. How long did that take? Every anime from 1991 took about 2 hours and 20 minutes. Perfect. Okay, so obviously the stream's over. We're done. We're not going through another. I don't have time, frankly, to go through 1992. Weirdly enough, my voice is okay, but I don't think it would survive 1992. Yeah, honestly, it went good. We got some good anime, or at least some interesting standing anime, and maybe someday we all know SACing MAL Eternal just happens whenever the fuck I feel like it. I'm not going to promise when it's going to come up. But yeah, so should be next Friday, because we're not doing the podcast next month, so no worries about that. So should be next Friday. We should be back with your regularly scheduled Birth by Sleep, where we'll do Friday, Saturday, Sunday, unless otherwise noted, of Birth by Sleep. So I guess look forward to that. But yeah, that's a good stream. I had a good time. Hopefully everyone else did. And I'm going to go ahead and call the stream now. Sorry, I'm rushing it. I have to go to the bathroom, and I've had to for about 15 minutes. So anyway, yeah, Sacrobolic, your envoy of hope. Thanks for watching this fucking garbage. And